right, man. Hey, welcome back, man. This is episode 34, Brick Shots with Billy Antonio, man. I know we got our producer Harrison killing it for us. We've got extreme positive feedback. I don't think I've ever had much positive feedback until the last episode. So I just want to appreciate Harrison one more time. Thanks to all the fans, actually, who was watching and letting us know that it was pretty good. Tonio, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, man? Another week, man. I'm like you, bro. Shout out to Harrison, bro. I thought he was gonna do us dirty. Thought I was gonna have to go beat him up, but we can stay friends, man. He did us justice. It was, like you said, I got so much, like positive comments about the show. So appreciate that. Shout out to him. 8 more than 92. Y'all go listen to it. But man, I'm just, I'm amped, bro. There's been a lot happening in the sports world, and we can go get right into that if you want to.
Yeah, man. Let's get into. We'll start out this show off with some serious stuff, man. Ime Udoka is getting suspended for a year for having a consensual. I want to make sure that's clear. A consensual relationship with a subordinate, which like you can look at it as a weird thing, but we're all grown adults. Like, hey, man, they knew what was going on. You got Phil Jackson banging the fucking owner of the damn team that he coaches for. I mean, and nobody really gave a fuck about that. But there is some things that they were saying that he was making inappropriate comments. But like, I'm not saying we should be making inappropriate comments of women at all. But a whole year suspension for that, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's more of a big fine. But maybe I'm looking at it wrong.
All right, man. So I hate to bring it into it. I hate to bring race into it, bro. But let's be for real. That's a black man. Look at his last name. That's one of the blackest names you probably could ever hear. That's a black man. Like I told you when we was talking like a couple of days ago in the pregame. That's a black man who messed with somebody's daughter that's higher up in the Boston Celtics organization. He was like, "Oh, this got leaked. My daughter. I'm embarrassed." And him with the leak, he was like, "Nah, we gotta take this punishment to the furthest extent of what we can do here." So they couldn't fire him, but I'm really thinking that they probably wanted to fire him, but they couldn't fire him because it was consensual. And the shit that's crazy is the only reason why a consensual thing goes bad is he was like, you know what? I do got Nia Long at home. She is ready to get married. All right, we got to call this shit off. They've been knowing about this. Like, you can't tell me ain't nobody ran their mouth in a year in an organization like that. Come on, Billy. Like you said.
No, I'm with you.
Like Phil Jackson was smacking Jeannie right there, and Dr. Butts knew it. Dr. Butts knew about that shit. Like, they was public with their shit. Like, come on.
Oh yeah.
But when a black man come up and he messing with somebody in Boston, now you heard what Bron just said about Boston on the shot, most racist place to go. Well, you got to think that racism probably sticks inside of that stadium sometimes, man. So it's crazy. It's crazy that Udoka and Scarver, the owner for the fucking Suns, who did some racist ass shit, they got Donald Sterling to have to sell his team. Now they boosting for him to sell his team, but his suspension was a year, the same as this head coach who had consensual sex. Come on, make that make sense for me, Billy. Like, I want to know, like, how.
So the only thing I could think of, and this is just my own, not the smartest guy in the room, brain can come up with, right? Like, I wonder if everyone's mad that he's cheating on Nia Long, because I'm super upset. You got Nia Long at home, and that's that. You got Debbie, and you're just gonna throw that away for somebody. And now I've never seen this other woman, but I'll tell you something. Nia Long is fine, so there's a difference, I guess. Maybe that's just for me.
Yeah, but bro, they've been talking for 6 years. He probably done tried to marry her. They got a kid together. Like, bro, we've been engaged for a long ass time. All right, man.
Engaged ain't married, man.
They actually only been engaged for like 6 years, but they've been together for like 12 years.
Exactly.
That's not married though.
Yeah. Okay, then that's what I'm saying. So now we got this unmarried man getting punished for what? Like, what? Other than being a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, thank you, Harrison. Other than being in a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship, what they got? What commitments?
Nothing. But okay, I also think,
why am I being punished for having consensual sex when I'm not married? Like, I'm not, it's cheating, but it's not law cheating. Like, it's not adultery. Like,
Yeah. But I think another thing is, and this gets me more upset, actually, like, if you look at it, because you're looking at the owner. I can't even, Robert something. I don't even know the owner's name. But he's a piece of shit saying all these things, all these horrible things, these racist things. And yeah, his suspension was also a year. But I think Adam Silver, what a lot of people are saying is that he did the suspension just to make the other owners like, hey, we're not going to make you sell the team, like, just in case something else gets out. But it's like, how about no? Let's see what else is getting out. Like, are all these owners like horribly racist and horrible with their lower staff because they're these rich and powerful men who, like, what are you going to do to them? You know what I mean? So it's like, I want that shit to get out. I think it's silly that's where, if that's the argument you want to make, that's where it's going. Because like you said, but if the Celtics, if he signed the contract saying like, hey, I'm not going to fuck a subordinate, like if that's in one of the little bylaws or whatever, he did sign the contract. So that's still.
How the fuck is that in the rule? Hey, don't have sex with nobody in the world.
With somebody under you. I think that's what I'm saying, though, is like, I could see that's where it would be coming from. Is like.
So let me ask you this. If she's not on his coaching staff, how is she under him? Like, that's the only way. If she work in the office, if she work in the front office and she a secretary, that don't mean she under him. He a coach.
So the violation was he was messing with somebody in the Celtics organization, and it was the VP's wife. And the Celtics have a rule that you can't do any type of basically intermingling with anybody of staff. It's not anybody that was under him. It's just they have a fraternization rule that you can, well, not fraternization, but they have a rule like it's just a company policy. Like you can't mess with anybody in the company that you work for. I.e., if he was messing with the cheerleaders or so. If you mess with anybody in
buddy's wife, I thought that was Tonio's conspiracy. I didn't know she was married to some guy.
So and that's
that's the answer then, dude.
Yeah, but bruh, she's not even in the organization. She married to somebody inside. That ain't the same thing. She don't work.
That's a VP though, dude. VP's like literally like it's like owner, president of basketball operations.
I know, and that's why I'm saying that's why he got that year suspension because it's his wife. But bruh, she not on the team. She wanted him. Hey, what's up, bruh? Like, come on.
That's a good point.
Come on, that it can't be in the contract saying, hey, if you mess with the VP's wife who ain't a part of the organization, she just married to somebody in there, you're gonna get in trouble.
What got him flagged was it was consensual at first, and I guess they said towards like July or so. She started saying he was doing unwanting, suggestive like comments or stuff like that. Because from what
that part's wrong.
So what she was reported was one of the people he was messing with was in charge of like booking the flights and stuff. So they had Nia Long's flight. So they, she was in charge of sending her when and where to do that. But what it was at first it was consensual, and then what got to the investigation of him being in trouble was then I guess when she was about to get found out, from what the perception is, that's when she said it became non-consensual. Or I'm sorry, unwanted sexual suggestive.
Oh, so he was hitting her with the old like, "Hey, remember the time you did this for me? Let's fucking get on that." That's not right either. A year suspension, I think that's crazy. That's a bit much. And then because also the owner, it was like he was saying stuff with the WNBA players, like he wasn't getting involved with the Suns thing, right?
Say that again.
Scarver owns both teams, correct?
Yeah, but he wasn't saying anything. Yeah, but he wasn't saying anything towards the Phoenix Suns. It was to the whatever the WNBA
I didn't get into the details of what all he did. I know it was more to the WNBA team, but bro, he's an NBA owner as well. So Adam Silver he should have punished him crazy too. Like,
no, he should have. But also, I think it's different with Donald Sterling. Not to go back, but it's different with Donald Sterling too. We had the audio of the way he was speaking. Now, I'm not excusing this or saying that it's different, but I wonder if the reports, if he was just saying, what's up, my in, and like just thought he was like cool with the culture or something, and that's the way he was, because the report is he said it 5 times.
No white dude is cool with saying what's up, my in. You've been my friend for like 3 years. You ain't never walked up to me drunk or sober and said what's up, my in. That's not something that somebody that don't look like this should be just saying. Like, you don't fit in like that, especially being in that high of a position. Like,
yeah,
all right, it's cool. I'm finna go down here with Like you can go shoot some shots with the players or talk to
the Mark
coach.
Cuban approach.
Yeah, like talk to the coach. But I guarantee ain't nobody Mark Cuban a dickhead, but I guarantee he never went up to none of them players and said, "Hey, what's up, my man?" Like, nah.
Nah. No, I understand 100%. I'm just saying because it's kind of like the Ray Rice thing, right?
Yeah.
Like we saw him hit that lady in the elevator, right? But if you look at Greg Hardy, we just saw pictures of the alleged assault. You know what I mean? So it's way different than like Donald Sterling. We heard the way he was speaking and what he was saying, and then it's just again, quote unquote, alleged for the Robert Server guy.
I get it. Either way,
so maybe it's just looking at different.
Either way, I don't think a year suspension was warranted unless he was saying crazy ass shit. Like, and no, we don't vote that on here, but for them to have a consensual relationship and then you about to get caught up and now it's unconsensual, it's kind of fishy. Something fishy around there, but either way, I don't think a year was. I get it, but a year, I don't think the Celtics got it right at all. That's just me.
No, so I don't think the Celtics got it right either. I think maybe a hefty fine and some other shit, community service, do some women's things, like learn some shit or whatever. Like because also like what else has he done? Has he ever had any bad shit ever before? And I do think, again, not to promote it, but I'm saying like where does it end? Like, what kind of culture was he brought up in to make it like where that's just kind of what happens too?
Yeah, see, and that's crazy because you ain't never heard nothing come out of Pop's camp like that ever.
Mm-mm.
And that's who he came up under, Pop. And for Pop to promote a coach, he had to be good. So
right, look what he did for Becky. What's her name?
Becky Hammond.
Becky Hammond. Thank you.
Yeah, just won her first WNBA championship, first year gone. So I really, his first year coaching NBA Finals, didn't win, but he got him there. So
got him there, and that was Brad Stevens' issue. Is like Brad Stevens is such a good coach. I've called him the best coach in the NBA numerous times for winning with what he had. And then Ime shows up and bam, finals. Brad Stevens could never break through the Eastern Conference Finals. So, I mean, but he also had to deal with LeBron. So maybe it's a little different.
Yeah. But, let's get on to some more serious topics. You said you had a little different approach for something.
So the Brett Favre fucking embezzlement shit, right? So I know one of the guys that we love, Shannon Sharp, was talking about how if T.O. were to be involved in this scandal, he wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But I have two things to say. Number one, T.O. missed first ballot because the media did hate him. So Brett Favre, I love that. But the media hated him. That's why he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer initially, right? Brett Favre had the dick pics. Nobody talked about it at all. His Hall of Fame speech, absolutely. Now, let's get to the actual issue of him taking money from the state of Mississippi, the poorest state in the United States, which is, I thought it would be like, low 40s, whatever. But no, it's the poorest, like the poorest. And the fact that Brett Favre was able to use his name, image, and likeness to get a fucking volleyball court at Southern Miss is baffling to me. But at the same time, I don't like that how Shannon approached it with when Michael Vick was fighting dogs, this was happening and everyone was talking about it. And Jameis Winston stealing crab legs and all that stuff. I do think, obviously, the quote-unquote crimes that were committed are nothing like stealing money that's going to help fucking poor people. Like, it's literally to help poor people. It's not just like, oh, the money was going to go to a governor or something. We can get in conspiracies with all that, but it's literally to help poor people. And Brett Favre was like, well, my daughter should play at a nice facility. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But he's not an active player. I think people don't give a fuck about it because he's not an active player. And, I mean, he's been out of the news. It's not like he covers sports anymore. Like, he does Copperfit and Levi commercials,
Well, I think what Shannon was saying that had everybody up when Michael Vick came back, they didn't even want him to play back in the league, and he went to jail for fighting dogs. And the coverage that seems to come around people like Udoka and Jameis Winston, like look what Udoka's going through right now, and he was in a relationship that information should have never got versus, like y'all said, the Phoenix Sun, that backdoor. And then Brett Favre, he doesn't face the same political backlash. So it's almost like punishments have two different standards of being punishments to who it is. And the attention doesn't seem to garnish which is a federal crime that he's going up for. He can do real jail time for that. But yeah, like I said,
Brett Favre can't because it's not his. It's the political people they're going after. I don't think Brett Favre is going to remotely do any time.
But even then, like what he's doing is way more heinous than somebody stepping out on their spouse. But no, yeah, all you're hearing about is Udoka, and I think that's what Brett. I think, and like what you said about T.O. didn't do any. T.O. wasn't doing anything off the field yet. Look how long it took for him to get in. I just think that's Brett Favre is always still looked at as a hero, and I think that's what Shannon's issue is, for him to be just a garbage individual.
No, that's a good point too. I like that, but I think I was more going like, because obviously horrible dude, just a shitty fucking guy. But at the same time, it's like he's just not active. I think that's where the coverage is going. Is like he's not an active player like Mike Vick was when he went to jail. You know what I mean? Now I think if Brett Favre went to jail, like if he was like indicted, and then we found out about the story instead of finding out about the story first, and then he would go to jail, I feel like it'd be a bigger issue. You know what I mean? Than it is now.
So I've been waiting to let y'all get out what y'all had to get out. So because this one real near and dear to me, because you
absolutely I'm there.
So that's where I'm from. Bro, let me just tell you why Brett Favre a piece of shit. First of all, this motherfucker made $100 million plus while he was in the league. Then you say he got the Copperware Levi. That shit he's still getting bread from there. All right, bro. So Mississippi, poor state. I'm from there. I know what certain people go through. I got family members that depend on welfare to get what they need. And I've seen people, cousins, family, close family, get their welfare cut because there was no funds. So you telling me that a motherfucker that made $100 million plus can take $5 million from those funds, and ain't nobody saying that? Like, nobody has yet to crucify him, say nothing like, hey, he might go to jail, he might do this. Let me just tell you what welfare covered, Billy, so I can break it down to you. Housing assistance, SNAP benefits, that's food stamps, TANF, that help you pay for your rent, Medicaid, that's how people get to go see the doctor, Billy. That's just a few examples. So you telling me this motherfucker took $5 million worth of food, rent assistance, doctor visits away from people who struggling, need that shit. And you got $100 million dude who went, the last time I checked, he was coaching in school. So he actively getting a check. Yeah. To build a volleyball court or stadium at fucking Southern Miss. Nobody even like Southern Miss. They fuck Southern Miss. Nobody like them in Mississippi. They cool. Go there, no disrespect, but it ain't even the top grossing sport in our state by a long shot. Nobody fucking watching volleyball in the South. That's not what we come to. Like it's a football state, bro. Yep. So for Udoka to be in the news because of Nia Long, but not Brett Favre, who made $100 million, bro. They literally just sent or just indicted this fake African prince for faking and taking $800K, Billy, from random people to invest. He looking for up to 20 years.
Damn.
For that. Brett Favre, like you said, he ain't gonna do no time. And one public apology, and he's just gonna be forgiven. Why the fuck is that right? Like $5 million, bro. $5 million don't even pay for his fucking lawn care in Mississippi during the summer.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. Like, that is insane. Like, this dude should see the bottom of a fucking jail. I ain't even gonna talk about the dumbass shit he did while he was playing, because that don't matter. It don't matter. Like, and bro, fuck ESPN for not saying, they said one thing about it, and it ain't been in the news. And like you said, Vic was playing, but bro, think about what you said. Vic was playing. So when them dogs was fighting, what was it back then? The Superdome or Mercedes-Benz before it was Mercedes?
No, it was just the Georgia Dome.
The Georgia Dome. He had the Georgia Dome practicing and playing. His cousins, them doing that shit. It's just at a house in his name. And he went to jail for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years, like the prime of his career.
Yeah.
Went to jail.
He was in the NFC Championship game the year before. Isn't that crazy?
Went to jail, bro. And Brett Favre just out here like, yeah, I put out a fucking Wrangler commercial and kiss a couple babies and that's cool. Like, nah, bro, fuck Brett Favre. Damn, I wish Harrison was at home so he can get his man some kind of dumbass sound. Tell him shit his dumbass down. That shit is insane, bro. And I guarantee, like, the slap on the wrist, the most they'll do to him is make him pay half of that $5 million back. But them people that lost out on appointment,
I don't even think they'll do that, dude. That's how shitty. That's how crazy I think this story is to me. That nothing's gonna happen to him. On top of that, the actual punishment that they're gonna have to quote unquote dish out to him is gonna be nothing, and that makes it so much fucking worse.
They're gonna blame Phil Bryant. They're gonna blame the dudes that was texting like our ex-governor. But nah, fuck all that, man. Go after everybody involved. Even
so that's the thing too. They're going after the aide, whoever was the governor's aide or whatever at the time. Susan something. Fuck. I just read it earlier, like a couple days ago. But it's like, so whoever the aide is, that's who's getting the most. She already has 20 lifetime, quote unquote, lifetime sentences of what her charges are. And it's like, oh, so we're just gonna get one person out of this? Like, no, the justice system needs to take care of all these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
bro, included.
Bro, that's crazy. Dude getting 20 years from taking money from people who had bread.
Yeah, and they signed up to give some dude money. Like, bro, the taxpayers are like waiting for that shit. Like, number one, you pay the taxes to get the shit back to help you out. Like, not to get all like economical, but like, Jesus Christ, dude, like, give the poor people the fucking money, Brett. What are we doing, man?
Like, that shit is insane. And I bet he won't donate a dime. They probably go in some other fund in Mississippi and be like, yeah, well, we were gonna fix the roads in Jackson for this. Or we're going to fix the water system in Jackson for this. But you know what? Brett Favre needs it, so he's going to get it. But
and now that's where I think – so I know that we're going on this for a long time, but it's deserved. But that's another thing that's crazy is that $500 million, Jackson's literally going through a water crisis right now. Like, what the fuck? The capital of the fucking state.
And see, the shit is the media just now getting on this water. I'm from Mississippi. Jackson's water's been fucked up for a long time, Billy. Like,
really?
For a long time. This shit didn't just happen. This shit's been like this. And nobody cares outside of the people of Mississippi. But now that, you know, you can get anything go viral, now it's like, oh, well, it just got like this. And then our current governor is a fucking goofy too. So they want to get him. But we can go on about this.
Yeah.
But end of the day, fuck Brett Favre, fuck his daughter, fuck Southern Miss, like fuck all of them. Like,
I'm with you 100%.
That's just real. Because Southern Miss, the dean or whatever, the dean of students or whoever took the fucking athletic director, he knew that money went from Brett. They knew it. So fuck them.
I'm with you 100%.
Fuck your volleyball stadium look better than your football stadium.
Like it's, what's up? Sorry.
How the fuck your volleyball stadium look better than your football stadium? That shit don't even make sense in the South.
Don't make sense to me neither. But not to brush this topic aside, but I know you also have something to go off about Herm Edwards. I know he got fired, but I have no idea. Like, you brought it up like you want to talk something about it.
Bro, so we all know Herm for his NFL.
Play to win the game.
Yeah, you played NFL coach, NFL greatness, Hall of Famer. Bro, so he go and, you know, he doing his due diligence at Arizona State, and he gets fired on the field, like, before he can even make it in the locker room. So reports came out. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The AD and somebody else when they met him in the end zone, that's when he got fired. Yeah.
He didn't even go in the locker room and be like, hey, guys, I'm sure my last week out here.
Yeah, I'm sure he addressed it when he got in there. I wouldn't have, but so more reports came because, you know, they were losing. But reports came that Arizona State staff members were leaking plays and all this stuff to the opponents, like game plans and everything.
You talking about like the coaches?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't know that. So Herm, so they're leaking information To try to get Herm fired, or just because they don't want to be there or something?
Fired. They didn't want him there.
He's the reason that they're there. You, as the head coach, you bring a staff. That's crazy to me. I don't even know how to sit with that information.
And before Herm was hired there, the AD told him that he would have to retain the coordinators that were there before him.
Is that factual, or is that something you're just
factual?
Okay. Damn.
And the crazy thing is, so Billy Napier was one of them, and he was up for the job, the ASU head coaching job.
Yeah, but he went to Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah.
Or no, I think it's just the Raging Cajuns.
So he started that whole why Herm here thing, and now they got it done, and that's crazy to me.
That is fucking crazy. Now Billy's at daggum Florida,
and Herm
living his life. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't know all that.
That's crazy.
I wonder what can happen. Obviously, not the. I don't think that's worth the death penalty, but something's gonna happen. There's gonna have to be sanctions.
But they're gonna have to do something. And it's crazy because he never had a losing season. He was 26-20 there. So
they never had. They won 2 bowl games. They only lost to the good team. It wasn't like they were losing to fucking FCS schools or
7-6, 8-5, 8-5. At Arizona State, that's amazing.
The last time they were any good was when Brock Osweiler was there.
Exactly.
So that motherfucker already works at Fox.
So I want the whole from the AD down. I want them all sanctioned, gone.
Damn, we're just talking about just firing everybody left and right around here now.
Yeah. Because that's fucked up on so many levels. Because all right, so say Herm wasn't established financially like he was before he came to take this job.
Yeah.
You just mess with this man's livelihood. You
definitely.
That man still gotta live, bro. Like this check, maybe see, like if her and hopefully I ain't trying to count his pockets, but I'm sure he a smart man, so he got some of that Steelers money left over.
Well, he also he worked at ESPN for a good minute for a while.
Yeah, so
I want him to go back, but I'm a little upset that Randy Moss isn't on fucking Monday Night Countdown anymore because I'd love to see him and Herm talk.
Yeah, that'd be dope. But I don't know, bro. I just think like the world's so soft now that Herm, if he says something back, well, they'll just be like, well, why did he take it like that? Instead of him just going there and beating the shit out of one of them. Like, I wouldn't even be mad at him. Like, all right, bro. Yeah, you mess with my job. They ain't even gotta fire you, but I'm gonna send you home with a well-whooped ass. You gonna earn this job, Billy. Like,
that's a big bet.
You gotta earn this job, bro. That's crazy, man. But we on college football, so I seen something interesting, man. You sound like you caught that show Shador put on.
So Shador, so I have 2 things with this. So I just want to give his numbers real fast. 41 of 50 for 425, 4 TDs and 1 interception. Number one, shouldn't be throwing the ball 50 times when it's an ass beating. That's just what I was just going to throw out there. So like we was talking last time, so he can't be a Heisman favorite. We were talking about him going to the NFL. That's different. So because he's at an FCS school, even though what's weird with the HBCUs, a couple of them are Division I, but they are not BCS schools. They are FCS schools.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So he's not able to get the Heisman because he's at an FCS.
So can he win what's the quarterback award called? The
Biletnikoff?
Yeah, can he win that or no? Can he not win?
I don't know. That's not something I looked up, but I did see that the Heisman, that's why it was such a big deal when Steve Aaron McNair was there, rest in peace. It was such a big deal because he's not allowed to win the award, but they let him go.
Yeah, that's hard.
So I didn't know that. But the HBCU schedule on ESPN. So I looked it up because Saturday I worked. Obviously, you and I were talking, but so I missed a lot of shit. I fucking hate working. We need to get this going. But ESPN, we've given them nothing but love the first couple weeks of the college football season. And now that we're getting into interconference matchups, ESPN is no longer doing big time HBCU matchups.
Nah, it's moved. It moved to HB. It moved to ESPN Plus,
which is stupid. That's not everybody has ESPN Plus. I fucking hate that. I hate it. But I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think about his numbers? And then what do you think about the HBCU coverage?
So the numbers make sense. Look who his dad is.
Yeah.
His daddy gonna do what any dad would do, but what any good coach would do at a smaller school. You're gonna see Shedeur Sanders, like NFL prospects. You're gonna see him. Like, I don't care if we went in, because they was up pretty fucking big, but I don't care if it's 40-0 at halftime. Shedeur coming out here and throwing the ball 30 more times, and he gonna complete 27 of those 30 passes, and y'all gonna notice that. And I don't think it's overkill at all. First of all, his dad was show offy like that, so like father like son.
I mean, his name is Prime Time. Yeah,
exactly. So I expect that, but at the same time, like I said, Travis Hunter going there. That got Jackson State on the map, HBCUs on the map, but you still probably got NFL prospects or NFL coaches like HBCU. They really not playing nobody. So I feel like you got to put up big numbers.
Is numbers though,
and that's what I'm saying. I feel like they have to be big to get recognized. Even though he's a Sanders and Deion probably got, I don't know, everybody number, including Belichick's in the NFL. So I feel like the numbers.
They've been doing that fucking Allstate commercial or Aflac commercial.
Yeah, like so. I feel like the numbers got to be big, but the numbers are good. Like he's hella accurate. His decision making is crazy. I think he got 12 tugs to 1 interception. That's impressive. That's impressive. Like,
and he's also not. He can run the ball, but he's not out here like Lamar Jackson where he has to run the ball.
Yeah,
and I think that's there's a lot to be said for that as well. But what about the coverage in general of HBCUs? Because we had North Carolina A&T, we had Florida A&M on ESPN the last 2 weeks, and now they are nowhere to be found.
Well, I felt like it wasn't going to be perfect right off. I was impressed to see the first 2 weeks. Like, damn, they really showing this like prime time hours. But I felt like they was going to get the back burner when the Power Five started playing each other. Like, do I agree with it? Fuck no. I told you I love watching the bands. Like, that shit is different. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love hearing commentation about football. That's my favorite sport. I did that. I love hearing people picking people's brains on what they see and being like, oh damn, I ain't never think about it like that. But at the same time, to shake it up and let me hear some classics over some instrumentals. You know me, I love instrumentals, bro. Like, and the bands, it doesn't get any better than the HBCU band to me. And I love that ESPN was switching it up. Like, they were even telling you, and coming up, we got the Sunday Boom of the South. And I'm like, yo, that's dope, bro.
That was something cool to hear.
That's dope.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, yo, you're telling me out of all the ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN3, I got all those channels. You're telling me you're not going to you're going to give me fucking some Pac-12 shitty matchup with Boise or New Mexico State and daggum Illinois. That's the game you're giving me, not a fucking great HBCU game that you can.
And eventually, HBCU is gonna have to get their own network, just like SEC, ACC, Big Ten, all them people. They're gonna have to get their own network, because you ain't gonna be able to show every game, but
no, of course,
show the premier games. Like, but while we on college, cause let's get it going, boy. We got some matchups this week, man.
Dude, we do got a couple matchups I'm excited about.
So
I do want to give a real fast shout out to Joey McGuire. Beat another top 25 team. First game he played against Texas, wins that game. First time since 1986. Big shouts out, guns up, coach. Really fucking what a game plan that he had.
Shout out, Coach. Billy's old high school coach.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Shout out to him, man. Congratulations on that win. But let's talk about some good teams, man. Let's talk about let's talk about Ole Miss versus Kentucky. I cannot wait for this.
I'm mad you said Kentucky like that. Kentucky,
man.
All right, man. Give me what Ole Miss needs to do to get a W here.
Just gotta play good defense. Offense gonna do what it need to do, bro. Like,
dude, Jackson Dart did not look very good last week.
Yeah, he didn't. But that's why we got another quarterback. Like, we got two QBs. We got two bullets in the chamber, Billy, ready to go at any time, bro. And Mingo ready to catch from whoever throwing the ball as long as they can get it there.
So I'm with you. I think Ole Miss takes it here, and I
know we take it.
All right, but I think this is where Kentucky maybe starts to fall because Kentucky still hasn't played Tennessee. They did beat Florida, so I'm happy. I'm happy for that program. They're gonna play y'all. They're gonna then play Tennessee, and then they're gonna play Georgia. I think that's 3 Kentucky losses, and we're not looking at Kentucky the same way we're looking at now.
All right, so this means Kentucky's been getting better since last year. I don't think we blow Kentucky out at all. I think it's a good game to the end, like we did with Arkansas last year. Because I still think Kentucky is a good team, bro. I think Kentucky beats Tennessee. I do. I think they beat Tennessee.
Really?
Go ahead.
Okay, with the way that Tennessee just played Florida, they played Florida way better than Kentucky did.
Yeah.
And Tennessee got them at home. I think a lot is being said because Kentucky gets them in the swamp and beat them there. Florida had to go on the road to Knoxville.
I think Kentucky gets them, bro. Because I still want to stand on my word. I feel like, especially with what I saw from Kent State. Yeah, I think Kentucky gives Georgia a little run. I don't know if they beat them, but I think they make them nervous.
Tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if I'm crazy. I think Kent State was in the right moment at the right time because they did really well in the first half, and then Georgia definitely I feel like was like, all right, we gotta fucking what are we doing here? And I think that's a sign of a good team to be like, we should be blowing these motherfuckers out. And that's what I thought Alabama was gonna do last week against Texas.
Good team. Great coach. Like Kirby knows how to adjust. And real quick, because I know Harrison probably like, all right, getting close to that time. Real quick.
Y'all are cool on time, don't you good.
Real quick on that Alabama Texas thing. All right, I know you're not a conspiracy theory guy, but bro, you gotta follow the money. So we know, like everybody in the sports world know that Oklahoma and Texas is trying to join the SEC, right?
Yep.
Well, the SEC, they love money. Alabama's gonna play Notre Dame in like 2030 or 2028 for that NBC contract.
Oh, so, yeah.
If we add Texas and get the Texas network contract, boy, that's some big money too. So
yeah,
I don't know, because you know Nick might be an honorable guy, but I think somebody was like, hey Nick, keep it real close, like make them think they can last in this conference, man, and they'll get over here way quicker, bro, because the reports came out that they wanted to join in what, like 2024, 2025, something like that.
They move over in 2025.
Yeah, so but then after that report, another report came over and said that Texas and Oklahoma thinks about joining the SEC sooner than 2025.
Yeah.
All right, now we got Alabama versus Texas. Okay, I'm Texas, them big money people over there. All right, we play Alabama tough, man. We might need to get the jump on it right now while we good.
And yeah, because if you think about it, like you said, I'm not a conspiracy theory, but if you do think about it, there was all those fucking annoying Texas fans that were like, see, we can hang with the SEC. We can hang with Alabama. Our quarterback was out. Blah, blah, blah. But then you go into fucking Texas Tech and Lubbock and you lose that game. So where are you telling me Texas Tech can hang with Alabama because they beat y'all and y'all hung in with Alabama? So where's the
Coach McGuire might got a game plan for Nick.
Hey, Coach McGuire will beat Nick. I'll say it right now. This will be whenever they play in 5 years when the playoff is 12 teams. Coach McGuire is going to beat Nick. I appreciate you saying that.
I got you, bro. But I think that's why that is. But
I respect that, though.
To get back on topic, bro, Kent State was in the right moment, right time, bro. And they should have wrote. See, that's what's hard about the good teams. Like, you can hanging with Alabama and beating Alabama is two different things. I know that, bro, but I'm saying, like, make them feel welcome. That's like, all right, perfect example. I had told Harrison that my apartment doesn't have like a laundry facility. And he was like, all right, bro, you can come over to my house. And I was like, nah, I don't want to impose. And he was like,
exactly.
Nah, don't impose, but don't get comfortable around this motherfucker. So that's like the same thing, bro. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. Like, all right.
Just sit over here. Just know that you're just here to do laundry.
Yeah. Like, don't get comfortable around this motherfucker. So it's like, all right, I'll let y'all hang with me, but I ain't letting you in, So,
I feel that. Okay.
Alabama versus Arkansas. Whew.
Yes, bingo.
I think that's a good game, bro. Like, I think it's a good. I don't think Alabama blows them out. I feel like this, bro.
So hear me out, right? Sam Pittman, great coach, really great coach. Mm-hmm. Really turned that Arkansas program around. They just lost to A&M. They had a close contest with Missouri State. Bobby Petrino coming back to Arkansas. They had a close contest. The score won't tell you that, but that's what it was. And you have Arkansas also only beating Cincinnati by a touchdown. And then the play to give Arkansas the win was a little iffy because Cincinnati probably could have scored another touchdown to get into overtime. But I think Arkansas is good. I think they lost a lot of talent. I think KJ Jefferson is a dog, obviously, but I don't think Arkansas is as good as we think they are. They just lost to A&M, who lost to Appalachian State at home. So I mean, I don't see Nick having a problem with Arkansas this week.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you again. I'm saying like you said, Kent State was in the right moment. Appalachian State was in the right moment twice. The sun shined on their ass twice back to back. Texas A&M don't suck. Jimbo don't belong in the SEC, but we ain't got to get into that.
The best conference.
Yeah, he don't belong in the SEC, and it is best conference. Once Coach McGuire gets in there, I feel like you'll change your mind. When he end up at like LSU or some shit like that, Mississippi State, you'll change your mind. But bro, I think first of all, KJ Jefferson, he a dog, bro. I like KJ Jefferson. I think it probably is biased that because he's from Mississippi, like right up the road from me. But he's a dog. Now he did lose a lot with Traylon. What's his name? Traylon Burks.
Traylon Burks.
It is a lot biased. Traylon Burks going to Tennessee and having his talents wasted with Tannehill, but that's another story. I know something coming crazy. I just for another team like AJ is that my bad, bro. I think it's a close game, bro. Like,
hey, I don't have to like write this one in, bro. Chill. Like, I feel like you about to just get borderline disrespectful. Like, I'm mourning the AJ loss, so I don't need you to come out here and just start saying stuff. We know what AJ's doing. I wish him the best. The hell with the Eagles. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. But like, I've been quiet. I ain't said nothing. But like, just don't press your luck. All right.
My fault, bro. If y'all didn't know, our producer is a big Titans fan. He repping Nashville all day, every day. They did take an L. But you typed that at the
First off, we won, so you're not even putting the correct facts out there. We beat the Raiders.
I ain't talking about with the Sunday game. I'm talking about with the AJ Brown loss.
We don't speak on that.
Anyway, like you said at the bottom of the screen, the L is an L. Hold it. That's what you said. Anyway, bro, I think it's close. I think Alabama beat them by like 10, bro.
All right, and we're moving on to the actual best conference in the nation, the Big 12. We got Baylor, Oklahoma State. Who you taking here? I think Baylor gets it done with their speed. Oklahoma State lost Jim Knowles to Ohio State. That defense looks great. So I think Oklahoma State takes the L for Baylor here. What do you got?
He get it mid-12. I like it.
That hurts.
I got both of them losing because they in the Pac-12. Suck.
They're in the Big 12.
Yeah, Big 12. They suck. Big 12, Pac-12. Too sorry, it's coming. Pac-10. Whatever. I got Baylor though. I'm going with you on the Baylor.
You got Baylor too? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with you on the Baylor. I'm really not liking this disrespect in the rankings that the SEC gave me. We don't got to get into that. Wake Forest versus Florida State. Who you got?
I got Wake Forest. They barely lost to a Clemson team that I don't think should be ranked in the top 5. I think Clemson's also overrated. DJ Lundalay had a good game, but I'm not trying to hear any of that shit because I think Sam Hartman is
buddy name and can't say Udoku.
So I haven't watched as much coverage on that guy either. I'm a big college football fan, so it's just easier to. Anyway, and if you look at the announcers, the way they pronounce, they make sure they correct it. So it's like one of those things where like I make sure I say it right, and then the way I spelt it on here, I didn't see the D first. So anyway, I also got Wake Forest here. I think Sam Hartman just balls the fuck out again like he did against Clemson.
Yeah, I think I never believed in Florida State. They've been sorry since Jameis left. So yeah.
So you know who left after Jameis too? Jimbo left also.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Either way.
All right, man. So then who you taking?
I'm going with Coach McGuire, man.
Oh, hold on. No. Oh, so we're moving on to Texas Tech, Kansas State. Okay. So Kansas State had a big win in Norman, man. You think they're going to ride that high and just be a little too full of themselves? They go home?
Nah. The things you told me about Coach, I feel like he's going to get them like, all right, that was Texas, this Kansas State. Let's go with it.
So there was I'm going to send you the video, but there was a really great clip of Coach. Not a clip because ESPN didn't show him doing the interview, so I was a little upset with that. But he said the interview lady, she was like, hey, how do you feel about beating Texas? He was like, hey, it's not beating Texas. We're 1-0 in the Big 12, and that's what matters. And I think that's going to show a lot of grit and toughness. Yeah.
So yeah.
But obviously, I'm going Texas Tech here. You're riding with me for Coach McGuire for this one.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I do want to talk about USC, man. Have you watched any of those games?
No.
So USC looks pretty good, man. Their defense kept them around this week against I just had it and I lost it. USC is not back yet. I think we're getting a lot of hype. Thank you, Harrison. But I think we're getting a lot of hype for USC. I don't think they're back necessarily. Obviously, bringing your quarterback from your program helps extremely well.
Yeah.
Instead of you just going and getting some guy you never even recruited or asked to coach.
But I don't got no faith in USC. Like
no faith?
Nah, I don't. I mean, maybe next year, but the conference is that's probably the weakest conference in college football. You got,
all right, man. So we're gonna move on to the NFL after some college stuff, right?
Yeah.
You cool with that, or you got anything else?
I'm good with college. Ole Miss will win this week. That's all. Last name.
All right, no. So we're both on Ole Miss. Don't come at me. All right, man. So let's get into the Bills, man. The best team in the NFL looked like until last week. Now, do the Bills fuck it up, or are the Dolphins way better than we're given any credit for?
The Bills messed it up. The Dolphins is riding this like I don't know. It's weird because they not it, bro. I don't know. The Bills, obviously, the game plan, some was misconstrued for that coach to go ballistic like he did in that.
Oh, yeah. Well, they didn't get back to the line. He's probably sitting there like, what are we doing? Why is this? Isaiah McKenzie didn't get out of bounds. And you're sitting here like, what? That's all you had to do, dude. And we got it right here. Like, what the fuck's going on?
The Dolphins, man, I gotta watch them play like somebody.
I mean, it's been 3 weeks though. I mean, you gotta really NFL games are hard to win, so you gotta really just take that into account, you know. So it's like I don't really know. I mean, they came back against Lamar, and I don't really know if that's like a team that you want to say are they like doing some fugazi stuff. But I mean, I feel like when you got that type of speed, I feel like they have legitimate weapons to do something.
Yeah,
so but it's really fluky.
I mean, so, but I still don't believe in Tua as a legitimate quarterback. He's he's a good quarterback, but I don't think that Tua is the quarterback that'll get it done. And I feel like saying that Josh Allen looked terrible. He's in the last 2 weeks, he's been throwing like a lot of ducks, and I don't know what's going on with.
But he has no running game, dude. You can't be throwing the ball 60 fucking times.
I think that's what
not
it is.
Get tired.
His arms getting like he's like a pitcher with no relief. Like it's bro. Like they really. What's his name? Singletary. That's the running back.
Yeah,
he's not.
Dalvin Cook. Yeah, Dalvin Cook brother too.
So he fumbled week 1, and I think he's been in the doghouse for a hot minute.
Exactly.
Now. Yeah.
And they throw the ball a lot, bro. And then their best running back is Josh Allen. So it's like this dude's getting tired. So the Bills, bro, like a week prior to this Dolphins game, you couldn't have told me the Bills was not gonna be in the way they demolished Tennessee, bro.
You couldn't just stop to beat Tennessee. Like I just feel like I feel like it's a lot of things that went into that game that just we were a little flat. I mean, Von Miller and the offensive line fell through. I feel like you know what, that's y'all show. Yeah, I just feel like
Taylor Lewan gets hurt too. You know, hey.
Exactly. First play of the game. I just feel like you could have used different words. You know, but go ahead.
My bad, bro. So they beat the hell out of Tennessee, bro. And I'm thinking like, yo, because I had to.
Go ahead, Billy.
No, I was just gonna say. I think it might have been beneficial to Tennessee to lose like that because they were able to get Malik in there, have him throw a couple passes.
Okay. I feel good. Tread lightly. I can mute everybody.
I'm being the nicest guy ever to Tennessee right now. So you're giving Malik a chance to kind of show off like a couple of those bootleg passes. He didn't run as much as I wanted him to, because I still sat there and watched that game. Sadly, because I don't know why. Else.
Bro, I called my uncle because Harrison is not the only Titan fan I know. My uncle, big Titan fan. Like I told you want to buy some tickets from Harrison, like season tickets. That's how big of a fan Harrison is. And I call him, and like all I hear is cursing, throwing stuff, like, and I'm just like, oh, it ain't that bad. And he was like, yo, it's getting worse. And I'm like, man. And I cut it off probably like third quarter. I was just like, yeah, these boys not doing nothing. It was bad. So if you would have told me that this team was gonna lose to the Dolphins, I wouldn't have believed you. And like Harrison said, they do got speed, but I don't think they have the quarterback for that speed. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like because he right, they played 3 games. Maybe they are good, but I don't think they no contenders still.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. But I also think let's go from 1-3-0 team in the Dolphins where we don't think that they're legit, and then let's go to the other 3-0 team in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles, who I think you and I both think are legit as fuck.
Bro, who knew that stealing AJ from the Titans would just make these people so much better, bro?
Dude, like, our friend is producing the show, Tony. You gotta stop taking these shots, right?
Well, it's not a shot. That's.
Go ahead, Billy.
He could literally run us into the ground, dude. Just what did he say? Tread lightly, man. What did we do?
Go ahead.
But nah, bro. So I didn't. So I knew that the AJ Brown edition would be like, you know.
Yeah, we talked about it on draft
night. But then for them to what they really focused on that the Bengals didn't focus on is the offensive line. He's not getting rushed as much. He's getting time in the pocket, and bro, Jalen Hurts is looking like that 1 year. I think that 1 year in Oklahoma really made him realize that, hey, bro, you got the weapons, use them. You don't got to run every time. And he's showing that, bro. Like. That connection with AJ Brown is insane early, bro.
Absolutely.
And their defense is looking good. They got they can run the ball. What's his name? Darius, big play Slay. He's looking good, bro. Like,
excuse me.
Damn. I mean, he looking at you burped right into the mic. All right.
Well, I thought turning my head would be the way to, but it wasn't because the mic's on my head, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah. All right. Damn. That shit fucked me up. I don't know what I was saying. Oh yeah. Their defense is looking good. Offense is looking good, bro. Now
is Philly the team to beat in the NFC?
They are. The Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC. I would have told you to. Well, we'll talk about it later, but I think they are the team to beat.
Because if you look at the powerhouse, I was gonna say if y'all looked at the powerhouse, like all the the NFC, AFC West is like garbage right now. Like I think the Chiefs are only winning, but I mean they just lost yesterday to the Colts. Raiders are 0-3. The Chargers are 1-2, and Broncos are barely winning. I think they're they're 1-2 as well. So even the best division in the league is kind of going a lot of 1-2 teams. I think Lions?
The Broncos should be 2-1.
I thought the Broncos lost to Seattle and then they lost last week, right?
No, they beat the Texans. They beat the 49ers by a point.
Yeah.
On that safety. Okay. Remember Jimmy G goes out the end zone?
Got you. Okay, that was it.
Yep. But yeah, remember I was very high on the AFC West this year coming out, and because the Broncos are my pick to win the Super Bowl. I just look like kind of a fucking idiot right now.
Yeah, but, you should.
Hey, I'm gonna ride with it. Hey, they're leading the division right now. They'll be okay. But I did want to talk Harrison. So the best team in the NFC, or the team to beat in the NFC, I don't think the Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC. I think that term is different than the best team, because I think they're the best team in the NFC, but they are not the team to beat. I think you got to worry. You still worry about the Rams. You still worry about Tom Brady, the active GOAT playing. Like I think that says its own thing. And I do think Aaron Rodgers, he's going to playoff choke, but in the regular season, if he gets you, where you're not going to be the top seed and you got to go to LA or you got to go to Tampa, I think that's a big issue for.
Look out for Minnesota too. But my sleeper teams are the Falcons. I just feel like the Falcons, because they're in a weaker division, I think they have a lot of chance. They do look good too, though. Yeah, they do look good. Like they losing a couple like gimme games. Marcus Mariota, I feel like I call them the Atlanta Titans because they just took everybody from the Titans and put them there. But I think Minnesota is legit so far, especially Aaron Rodgers still trying to figure out life without Devontae. And I think the 49ers could be a contender too because that defense is stout and Jimmy G knows that offense.
Jimmy G does know that offense. I'm with you. The defense is stout, but I think them losing to Denver, they played at Mile High, so I think that does have a little bit to do with it. But I think Jimmy, after this week where, okay, I got to start under me, I think I can get this shit together. You know what I mean? I think you're right about that.
Kirk Cousins, Vikings, liability. Nope. I just don't believe in, because the team around him is good. I just don't think Kirk is the one that'll lead them for.
But look I like what he did to the Falcons in week 1. The Vikings are 2-1 also. They had that bad game against Philly on a Monday night because Kirk doesn't play well under the lights. Still won a playoff game, beat the Saints. So I don't want to shit on Kirk too much, but I think because the Vikings are my sleeper pick to make it a lot further than a lot of people think.
Nah, not mine. I think Kirk. They had that miracle in Minnesota that one year, and that's done.
He wasn't even there for that.
Oh, so yeah.
He beat the Saints. He beat the Saints the year after they signed him.
Nah, this is just the Saints, bro.
Okay.
It's just the Saints. They look terrible. It's pain.
But Harrison, you might be right on that.
Pain is pain, bro.
No, pain is pain. But Harrison, real fast, I like that Falcons pick. After watching the games, like if you would have said that preseason, I'd be like, you're the craziest person in the world. But after watching them actually compete, having Drake London running around out there, Kyle Pitts, obviously he's not getting touchdowns, but he's catching the ball where he needs to catch the ball. And Mariota's looking pretty great too. So I do think that's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, y'all both drunk. So the Chiefs lost the game.
I am drunk now, so that's good.
Yeah,
I do want to get you. Why do you feel like that's like a bad pick for Atlanta? I mean, if you look at it, they got like probably one of the best cornerbacks. I think his name Trey Mitchell or something like that. 24. They got Kyle Pitts. You can't stop him as a 1-on-1. You got Mariota, who's a dual threat. Well, yeah, you got Cordell Patterson, and he's a beast as well. I just think that because of right now the way the Saints are spiraling, Tom Brady has not been looking too prime. Baker is terrible. I think that's Atlanta's for the taking. That's just my quick snippet.
Yeah, I don't think Atlanta's taking shit with a back seat to a first round draft pick. Like,
well, hey, we'll come back to this though, Harrison, in a couple weeks and see where Antonio maybe we can put up or set up.
Yeah, me versus Harrison. Put that at the bottom. Atlanta not gonna be it.
Okay.
But the Chiefs lost the game. You think Eric Bellamy is the problem?
So the only reason I'm going to say maybe is because let's look at because we can look at it two ways. I know we talked about big issues up front, but the racism issue in the NFL with black head coaches, right? So he was getting looked at for some coaching jobs, and he still has yet to get one. Now he's the offensive coordinator, but stay tuned. But Andy Reid calls the plays. You know me, I'm very against the head coach calling plays. I think that is a silly concept. It makes no sense. Like, you got so much to worry about as the head fucking football coach. You're worried about what play we're going to call on 4th and 2. No, you need to trust your offensive coordinator, especially one that's getting head coaching consideration. Like, he's not even calling any plays. So if he gets hired, is he going to be calling the plays? Because he's never done that. So wherein it's just Andy Reid's Andy Reid light offense. But him and Patrick Mahomes had a altercation. And Patrick Mahomes is not in the media, especially with his shitty brother and his shitty wife that just really fucked things up for him. Was out there like yelling. Him and Eric got into an altercation. Not an altercation, a verbal disagreement. Just a loud one. Because they're both men. They're both alpha males. That's how shit.
That boy is on it. He's on it.
And that's how shit kind of happens sometimes, right? Like, me and you will get in an argument about like some dumb shit and then just move on because we're grown.
Yeah.
But I think he could be the problem. I don't think he is. I just think he could be, and I think maybe we should talk about it a little more.
I feel like he'd be on Patrick's neck. Like, I feel like Andy Reid probably caught him, and Eric probably like, bro, you a grown ass man. I'm gonna talk to you like you're this premier quarterback. Show me that. Like, and I feel like
you play like shit.
Exactly. So I feel like he's one of them. I'm gonna hold you accountable. You got all these accolades. You got all this. That's cool. But what are you doing for me now? Like, it's the what have you done for me lately game, not what are you done for me in the past. So if you're not doing anything for me, I'm gonna get on your neck. And it is, I feel like he could be the problem because maybe he's sick of it. Like, what am I doing as an offensive coordinator and I don't call the plays?
Oh, so you think he's kind of over it, telling Pat like, "Hey, fucking get it together. Like, what are you doing, man?"
Bro. Like, because I feel like Pat just looking at him like, bro, Andy called the plays. What are you talking to me for? Because he a weirdo, bro. He sound like Kermit. I don't know. He's weird. I don't.
Guns up, Pat. I'm with you. But yeah, I do understand. I do understand that point. I like it, but I do think it is interesting because we were pulling for him to get a job and he hasn't got one, and then this shit kind of happens. And it's like there is a level to a coddle / hold accountable, especially for these star quarterbacks, because you can look at the NBA and those head coaches, it's straight coddle. Like, you just have to coddle these dudes. You know what I mean? But the NFL, I do think there is a nice give and take to where, you know what I mean? Like, what you got to do to your star quarterback, especially one that's making $250,000. So,
I don't know.
But we're going to go from one premier quarterback to two premier quarterbacks in this. Aaron Rodgers beats Tom Brady barely in Tampa. Did you watch that game? Did you see what happened?
I watched it.
Okay.
Excuse me. I'm like Harrison when it come to AJ leaving. When Tom left New England, man, it just stung. It probably stung worse than what he going through because we used to win it. Never mind. I don't, bro. Like, a lot of people been saying Brady been downhill, and I don't see it.
Just saying right now.
Exactly. I don't. Well, he asking, so I ain't gonna say I don't see it, bro. Like, he literally was throwing to people that played worse than me, you, and Harrison. Like, he literally threw the ball to Gage Jr., who ended up catching that touchdown where he almost died from getting smacked.
Yeah.
But 3 drives before, he fumbled back to back. Like, bro, like, how do you get momentum going? Your best receiving option on the field was Cameron Brate. Like, Scotty Miller, that cornerback from Green Bay, was just too physical for him. He couldn't get off the line like he wanted to.
Scotty had no idea. And that motherfucker's fast, but you're right, dude. He had no physical. He was not ready for any of that.
Like, bro, put his hands on him, and that stopped all his momentum. Cole Beasley looked like he should have stayed on the practice team. Because it was like one pass where Tom led him and he just dropped. And I'm like, bro, he put you out there.
No, you're talking about the it was behind Cole. And Cole
was
only been on offense for a
it was
fucking
not
4
behind.
days.
Even the commentator was like, well, he put it where you should have caught it instead of falling with it. Like, nah, bro. So it's really Tom Brady.
Take it easy on Cole. He's only been there for a couple of days. I just want to throw that in there.
I don't care how long he's been in there. He's been in the NFL for what, 6-7 years?
Shit, like 10. Yeah.
Exactly. So he know better than that. Like, if you scared to get hit because you saw Buddy die twice, don't get on the field, bro. Like, I feel like this game, and I hate to be the conspiracy dude, but all right, my dad just handed out this 1-game suspension for Mike Evans, and now we gonna play the team. It smell a little fishy to me, bro. And that shit hurt.
Did you see what Bruce Arians did though?
What's that?
So when Mike Evans was coming off in New Orleans, he was like, "You better go out there and push that motherfucker." You didn't see that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, dude. Bruce Arians was like, "You better go do something." Yeah, and Mike literally was walking and turned around to go do that.
I respect it, bro. Like I said, I know everybody want to be like, well, will they do that for? I hope the quarterback. I hope the wide receivers that suck for y'all would do that for Lamar any day of the week. I hope they would do it for. I know D-Hop would do that shit for Kyler. Like,
yeah, well, because D-Hop also is a fucking gangster too. Though.
Yeah, and I know one of the fans will jump on the field for Jameis, sorry or not. Like, if anybody them New Orleans people not playing that. Whenever Malik start playing, I know them Tennessee people gonna get on the field. They wouldn't do it for Ryan Tannehill. I don't blame them.
Probably not.
But I just did this Tannehill stuff. Tannehill is going to play because they owe Tannehill $38 million. Tennessee Titans have a amazing record with Tannehill. With that being said, it's unanimously decided to fuck Tannehill. But they can't do anything with $38 million. We're not benching Malik. One, Malik's not ready, but we're not benching Malik because it's the right thing to do. We got the winner. No, you owe Tannehill $38 million. So trust me, every Tennessee Titans fan is waiting.
I know. I'm not saying anything bad about Tannehill. I'm just saying like the level of respect, because I know a commentator has said, well, would they do it for a black quarterback? Of course they would. I can't remember who said that shit, but I seen it.
That's crazy. He's still the quarterback of the team.
I respect what Mike Evans did, but it hurt. It hurt Brady because Mike Evans was the only premier receiver that wasn't injured. Julio hurt. Godwin hurt.
So you know what I don't like about that though? About the Mike Evans thing is that I feel like Mike loses his control too much, and it's just them two. I feel like the NFL does a job of forgetting what happened between Talib and Crabtree.
Michael Crabtree.
And I feel like and I feel like you never see Mike Evans come out of character with anybody but Latimer. And the fact that that's 2 times that Mike Evans came out and could have hurt Latimer with nerve injuries because he's pushing him without him bracing. I feel like that's something that like he needs to be really checked on, because that's whole shit. If you ask anybody,
that is some like control your emotions at least a little bit. Like, Jesus, what is that dude saying to you that gets you so riled up?
Hey, Harrison played football. You did too. Keep your head on the swivel when you're on the field. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It is a whole.
No, but I should be able to talk trash to you and we just kind of bump face masks. Like, it shouldn't be a fucking.
Nah, bro, I'm pushing, bro. Hey,
and the issue I have is like, why is he's pushing Leonard Fournette, and that's who he had the altercation with. Why am I watching for Mike Evans come out the blind side when he all the way he at the sidelines? He running at full speed.
He came back. Like I said, dude, Bruce Arians told him go back.
Hey, bro, you haven't been on.
Why are you listening to Bruce Arians? Like, that's not even your coach, bro. I'd be like, I'm gonna go sit down. Like, I don't know if you're a big sit down on the bench guy. I was a big sit down on the bench guy.
Nah, Harrison wasn't no sit down on the bench guy. I wasn't sitting down when it was something. Come on, bro. But that I ain't mad at it. I'm glad he didn't get hurt, but I ain't mad at it. Could it be a whole move? Of course, definitely. Buddy wasn't looking, but keep your head on the swivel when you're on the football field. That's
I'm with you about 25% on that. But all right, man. Let's go ahead and move on. We're about almost out of show. All right. So Thursday night, got the Dolphins and the Bengals. Who you got?
Probably the Dolphins, but I can't. The Dolphins defensive line. How good is the Dolphins defensive line?
Not bad, but not very good.
Well, I might give the Bengals a chance. If Joe Burrow gets some time, bro, Jamar Chase gonna make it happen. Boy, bro, that catch that they called a no touchdown is insane. So he back active.
You're right.
If the defensive line don't get too much pressure on there, then the Bengals gonna beat the Dolphins. I'm going with the Bengals. I will go with the Bengals.
Oh, you're going with the Bengals too? Okay, so you and I are both on the Bengals. Then I think they got some shit together last week, and I think they continue getting their shit together this week, and I think they beat the Dolphins, give them their first loss of the season.
Yeah.
Bills Ravens. So my heart says the Ravens. My head also says the Ravens because I wonder if that secondary is still going to be as tore up as they were. And our defense does not play when it comes to running games, and we've seen what Josh Allen can do without a running game. Who you got?
I got the Ravens, man. I think Lamar earning that check, bro. Like that $300 million guaranteed y'all finna have to pay him at the end of the season. He finna work for that. So
I'm about it. Hey, cash over cap, no problem.
I think, and this will give me a chance to really look at the Bills. If the Bills lose this game, then they still the same Bills from last year. They can win some games. It look impressive. But when they come down to it, they can't win the big game. Because I do think, because like me and you both, I had Tennessee beating the Bills. And I do think once Tennessee's offensive coordinator gets it to where we not doing toss sweeps with Derrick Henry, when we got defensive ends that are great, we just gonna run it down their throats. When he figures that out, I feel like they beat the Bills' second matchup. So I'm going Ravens, bro.
I respect it. Good choice. Chiefs Bucks on Sunday Night Football. Ooh. Oh, you want him fired there, Harrison, do you?
I want that motherfucker's credentials taken away. Like Jamal Adams when he walked in the Jets building.
Number one seed without Derrick
He didn't get us anything. He didn't get us anything. Okay? We had AJ. We had a good system in place, and our defense was locked down last year around the time week 8. And on top of that, we were just as hurt or just had COVID. And I think we were better equipped in the system with the receivers we had. And I think it wasn't as much personnel movement. And the defense was a lot better because we had Janoris Jenkins, Christian Fulton was good, Kevin Byard. Because right now we get torched in the secondary. So I think the fact that we had Harold Landry was out there as well, we're not getting that pressure on the outside. So that's why I feel like it's a bunch. That's playing thing that point. Plus, Derrick Henry's coming back from a foot injury. We were doing a lot of different passing and running than we were last year versus. So you couldn't game plan for Deontay Foreman and Hilliard like you could for Derrick Henry because they were different style backs, but we still were averaging 120 yards rushing. I think we're just trying to get back to that and then finding somebody who can be comparable to AJ. Not the same because you'll never replace a sweet angel like AJ.
But also, Derrick Henry should not be catching the most passes.
Sweet angel.
I think Derrick should be catching the most passes, and I'll tell you why. Because you take Derrick off the field when you know he's not getting the ball. So if you put him in the passing game and get some touches in his hand, all he needs is space and a little bit of time to get his feet moving. But when you keep him on the field, you confuse the defense because you already know what they're going to do when he's off the field. You get what I'm saying? So I think that helps better.
I feel like they got to start using Derrick keep running him because he's still the best running back in the league. But then they got to do – he's definitely the best running back in the league. We never going to – come on.
That's not even a question. You know what I'm saying?
And that's not me because Harrison, my friend. That's just me being smart, bro. That dude's still the best running back in the league. But they got to do him like they do Leonard Fournette. Run him. Let him take like 2 smokes, 2 breaks, 2 puffs of the oxygen. Get him in there. Get him a little side out pass. Let him get in the open field. That's what helped. That's what helped Tampa Bay almost come back and beat Green Bay in the game. Leonard Fournette was probably had the most targets in the game, and I'm not mad at that. Like Harrison said, you get Derrick Henry ball, let him get some open field. Come on, bro. That's one-on-ones, he destroying that. So it's a game tackle somewhere got to be down there, and we're not going to act like he big and slow. He not. He big and fast. So I think that'll open that offense up. Like I said, I I like Traylon Burks. I think the deeper we get into the season, the better he'll get. I still like the Titans. As last year when we did this whole thing, the Titans was my pick. Even with Derrick Henry out, because that defense was rocking.
They sure were.
Yeah, so I just
no, they weren't. No, they weren't. Not with Derrick Henry out.
Yes, they would.
You said the Titans are done. Literally, the week after his injury, you said the Titans are done.
No, I said their defense was. We got a list. We can go back. We'll pull it up. I'll send it to Harrison.
Antonio, send it to me. Somebody's in trouble. We literally have audio evidence of you saying without Derrick Henry, and I said Tannehill ain't nothing to play with, and you were like, Tannehill fucking sucks, blah blah blah, and then the Titans got the number 1 seed. We got audio of it, man. We have the video.
Probably did say that, but I don't think so. I think I said something about that defense still rocking, because they were still winning games. So yeah, either way, I think the Titans bounce back.
All right, we got an interdivisional matchup. We did talk a lot about the Titans. Harrison, I like talking about the Titans because you were definitely like ready to.
We didn't talk about the Chiefs Bucks.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We didn't even get there yet. Chiefs Bucks, who you got?
Bucks. That Chiefs defense still, but
okay.
If they block Jones for a little time and Mike Evans is back, maybe Julio plays. Even one wide receiver, Tom Brady, looked better.
All right, so I'm taking the Chiefs. I just feel like that's going to be the kind of oopty-doopy game that everybody's not ready for. It's going to be like a low score, like 20-24 game.
Nah, I don't see it. I think Brady got Pat Mahomes' number. I just think he does.
All right, last one. Interdivisional matchup. We got the Rams, 49ers. Who you got?
Rams.
You got the Rams. Give me Jimmy GQ and the 49ers. I'm taking them.
Nah. Give me Bobby Brown the third and the Rams, and I'm taking them.
Respect to the family. But all right, man, we got to get out of here on this, man. Wonderful show, man. Talked about a lot of great things. Had a lot of great picks. I'm glad Harrison got himself involved and let us know what he thinks. But like I said, man, hey, this show, I feel like this is going to be the one to get us over 100 views right here.
Yeah.
We're going to go back into that stratosphere of where we belong. Number 1 show on the internet, man.
All right, bro. It's been real, Billy, and we'll see y'all next week. Appreciate Harrison.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, Harrison, man. Hey, appreciate y'all. Thanks.